Welcome back to Dolphins United, the platform for Dolphins. You heard me. We back in the house once again, about to go ahead and give y'all the second video breakdown, which is going to be running backs and doggone linebackers. They're the two groups that go up against each other. I like to do it that way. First video that I put out a few days ago was offensive line, defensive line. Now we're doing running backs, linebackers. All right. These are the guys that go up against each other. That's just what makes, I got a little OCD anyway. So that's what's going to work best for your boy. So hopefully that works good for y'all. All right. Next video, you could probably guess who it's probably going to be. Right. All right. So let's get into running backs. Why don't we? Now, as of making this video, we do not have Dalvin Cook. So I'm not going to be talking about Dalvin Cook as if he's on the team. Okay? Some of y'all could do that. I'm not going to. Now, if we do get Dalvin Cook, of course, like I said in a previous video about that situation, I would like to have him on the team. He makes us better. Until that happens, I'm not talking about him. All right? Now, if things change, I will put out an update video because there are certain guys that I don't expect to be on the team if he is on the team. Now, let's get into running backs. Why don't we? The starter for right now is Mostert. All right. His backup is Wilson. Then we have Devon Achane. Devon Achane is making the team. He's not going to be on the practice squad. He's a third-round pick. Third-round picks don't go on the practice squad because they get pooched. He made the 53. He's already solidified. He's on there. All right. He has nothing to worry about. The two guys that do have something to worry about are Myles Gaskin and Salvon Ahmed. Those are the two guys, and I like both. Both have done good things for us in the past that are on the chopping block. Both of them. If Dalvin Cook comes, whole different situation. Both of them you can assume are gone. One of these guys, as of right now, have a really good chance to make the team. I want to see what Devon Achane brings, because if he can do some of the things that Salvon Ahmed does well, which is catching the ball out of the backfield and being a good third down back, then they're not going to need him. He's the one that's more expandable. But if Achane cannot do what Salvon Ahmed is really good at, then you're probably getting rid of Gaskin, because Gaskin's a little slower than Salvon. Can't catch out of the backfield as well. But what he does do better is run between the tackles and break tackles a little bit better than Salvon. Okay? So you have Mostert that can do the same thing. You have Jeff Wilson that's supposed to be able to do the same thing that Gaskin can do. But Gaskin does add value in that area. We're not going to skip around that, although he is a smaller frame. Me, who would I keep? I would rather have Salvon, because you got two of the other type of guy. Now, I'm not going to say that Mostert is some type of bruiser, right? But he did show us that he can run physically and in between the tackles last year. I don't see why that could change or why that would change now. So with that being said, you have him, you have Wilson. Now, because you have two of those type of guys, in a sense, those bruiser and guys that can get the physical yards, it'd be great to have two of the other type of back. The speedster can catch out of the backfield, line them up a wide receiver, joker type player, right? Achane and Salvon. Those would be my two. So you have the two others, and then you have those two guys, okay? That's how I view it. Now, could there be different things that happen? Yes, of course. Of course. Different things could definitely happen in the future, but that's what we're going to go with right now. All right, because that's what it is right now. And if there's injuries, then Dalvin Cook's going to be a phone call away, and they're going to have to up that offer, because they did make an offer. But he wasn't too fond of the offer they did make, so here we are. No Cook yet. All right, he ain't on the squad just yet. I do believe that he'll end up coming, But since he's not here, then we can't make like he is on the squad. But if he did get on the team, he would bump all the way to either number 2 or 1A. All right, 1B with Mostert, in my opinion, unless you find a trade partner for Mostert, which I'm pretty sure you could, because that speed don't grow on trees. All right, now let's get on over to the linebackers. Why don't we? Now, let's talk about middle linebackers first, then we can get to the edge rushers, because it's a 3-4 defense. Middle linebacker, all right, which you got your inside left, inside right. We'll just talk about both of them. You got David Long, you got Channing Tindall, and then you have Zeke Vandenberg, okay? You have Jerome Baker, Duke Riley, Garrett Nelson. Those are your 6 guys. I'm sure there'll be some movement in this area, but we want to see David Long. Seems like there was a video that he put out of him working out. Seems like he's moving well. Now, how that would translate to the field, I don't know, because he was injured during minicamp, so I don't know. But it seems like he was moving well. I like his instincts a lot. He's a smaller guy, though, but he did shed blocks well. All right, I'm not going to sit here and act like he didn't, because when I watched tape of him, he was getting to the ball. And that's shedding offensive linemen to get there, and that's what Zach Thomas was really good at. Not that he's Zach Thomas, but Zach Thomas was a small frame, and even when he wasn't kept clean by the defensive line, because there was a lot of that, all right? You had Tim Bowens, David Bowens up front. He was set up pretty well, okay? But even when he didn't have those guys up front, he was still able to be slippery enough to get to the ball carrier and evade or shed those blocks of the offensive lineman. David Long has a little bit of that in his game. Speedy guy, range, sideline to sideline, all that is there. Decent pass coverage guy, but really good in the run game, and a little bit of a thumper. Doesn't mind throwing his body around. Jerome Baker, y'all know how I feel about Jerome Baker. I thought we should have cut him. We did not. So because we did not, he's still on the team. There's something they believe in. I just need to see him progress, man. Just get better for me. Be more consistent. He put on Twitter that he disappointed some people and it's going to be better, something to that effect. Last year, and he's going to be better. Let's hope so, right? Because we need a better Jerome Baker in order for us to do anything this year of substance. So, Jerome, please, for the love of God, find a way to be way better than you were last year. And you'll make a fan out of me again. You know, I ain't going to put your jersey on the wall or nothing like that. But at one point, I was a fan of yours. Now, should they allow him to blitz a little bit more? Yes. But you're going to have to cover it in Vic Fangio's defense. And there's a lot of zone. And we be letting up a lot of zone. Our zone coverage ain't been good. And we let up a lot of open areas in the middle of the field in zone, is what I was trying to say. We got to shore that up. So I need him and David Long to get their act together. Duke Riley is making the squad, okay? I don't see him not making it. I got him on the team. Channing Tindall is making the team. Let's just be honest. You're not going to invest a third-round pick from a year ago in a guy and then he don't make the team. I need both of those guys to get better. Duke Riley is a great pass coverage specialist. Run game could be a little better. Let's see him progress. Maybe he can take Jerome Baker's spot. Channing Tindall, we just need to see some form of life in him. Because from what I've heard, he looks like a deer in headlights still. All right, now, I'm not saying that as if he's not learning a new defense. He is. But, bro, you should have something by now. You should, some. Give us some. All right? Now, he might be a bust, and then that just is what it is if he is. But if he's not, he's going to have to start showing something when them pads come on especially. Okay? Then we got these other guys. I don't know, right? roster I'm looking at, they have Aubrey Miller as a outside linebacker, an edge rushing type linebacker maybe. I would more so put him in the inside linebacker category. He's a smaller guy. Could probably be a good blitz linebacker. But I would want to see him play in the middle. And Van Ginkel is also an outside linebacker, but he's also someone that has been playing in the middle a little bit. So I would like to see him and to see what he has to offer in the middle as well, because you just never know. All right, he might be one of those guys that can really do something for us as a middle linebacker next to David Long, because I believe David Long's the solidified starter, and Jerome Baker is fighting for that spot. Now, outside linebackers, let's talk about them. You got Bradley Chubb, Malik Reed. You have Aubrey Miller as well, Jalen Phillips, Van Ginkel, Cameron Goudet, and Mitchell Agude. All right. In my opinion, Chubb, Phillips solidified. In everybody's opinion, pretty much as well. They got their jobs. All right. You brought Malik Reed over. He's pretty much going to make the team. I don't see how he doesn't. Van Ginkel probably making the team in more ways than one. He's a special team ace as well. Cameron Goudet is probably going to be a practice squad guy, and Mitchell Agude is one of the guys that's really been doing some good things. He's a guy that's been opening up some eyes. He's been like really, really good. So I'm interested to see if he can move himself up to be the backup for Jerome, or for Chubb or for Jalen Phillips when they need a spell, and then he come in after instead of Malik Reed or instead of Van Ginkel, right? I would like to see him move himself up the depth chart. We'll see if that happens, and if that does, then, hey, we've got depth. We need it at linebacker. Oh, at linebacker, that's where we need depth. We got some decent depth when it comes to edge rushers, because some of those guys at defensive line can play that position. But when it comes to middle linebacker, we need help. We need serious help, and somebody is bound to get injured. So we definitely need the depth in those positions. Please let me know how you're feeling about the linebackers and the running backs. Let me know who your dark horse players are that you feel like will make the team, or maybe who your surprises are that you feel won't make it. I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Y'all already know what it is. Fins up till we die. I am out.